Welcome everybody. Let's talk about the market. Wow. Let's talk about the weekly, the daily. We'll look at my trade. We'll look at the trades of the day on the intraday chart. We'll talk about the daily. Very interesting day today. But here, looking at the weekly chart, yesterday this candlestick was red, and now look at it. It's got this huge lower wick on it. Yeah, market just in blast off mode. Of course, hit all-time highs again. That's the second time this week it's done that. Tomorrow's Friday. Today is Thursday. So the absolutely massive bull run, and I mean, just look at that thing, continues. Yeah. Just wow. Anyway, support still here at 50.63. That's new support that got established at these two candlesticks. Okay, keep that in mind. We're way up here at 51.70. Of course, it pulled back a little bit here. We'll look at that in the daily, but pulled back to 51.57 for at this point in the week. All right, so we're 100 points up for this from the support, right? Approximately. Divergence going on here. The red divergence dot that was yesterday turned to yellow, which means it kind of gave some back. All right. Still got these dates here, March 31st, June 16th. The 31st is 27 days away, I guess, calendar days away, if my calendar math is right. All right. Just look at this number, guys, on the MACD, guys and gals. Look at this on the MACD on the weekly. 189. Yeah, just crazy. This is like crazy stuff. Let's go, since we're looking at this, I haven't done this in a while. Let's look at max week. Max week. So I'm just going to squeeze back as much as I can here. I think this goes back to the 1980s. I'm just going to keep on going here. Okay, on their software, it goes back like to 1994, right? So that's good enough. That'll kind of make our point, right? Let me put in a little time axis on this, so we get a little room to the right here. It ain't much, but it should be good enough. All right, so just bear with me here for a second. So this is the S&P 500 weekly chart. Goes back to 1994 on this software, and of course here we are in 2025, right? Pretty crazy, right? 25 years, another 30 years worth of S&P 500 here, maybe 31 years worth of S&P 500 we're seeing here on the weekly chart. Okay. Now, what I'm interested in is this particular indicator, the MACD. Now, this is the zero line, this purple line. Okay, and you can see it's gotten above it throughout history, and it's come below it, and above it, and below it, and okay. But we're going to look at the highest it's ever been, and as far as I can tell, and I thought there was 200, but I could be wrong. It looks like right now, or at least going back 31 years, that the MACD's never been higher than it is right now. Let me just look right here. This was 2019. Yeah, April of 2019. Okay. Yeah, that was the week, April 26th, of 2021, my bad. The week of April 26, 2021. It had a MACD of 170. Okay, I'm looking at this number right over here. Okay. And that was 175. Now, if we look at where we're at right now, the MACD is at 189. So over the last 31 years on the weekly chart, best I can tell, the highest it's ever been in 31 years. Now, I think I saw on the monthly it's been higher than this, and I can't remember where I saw that, but I'm not going to look at the monthly right now. Otherwise, the video is going to get super long. But yeah, in the last 31 years, this is the highest it's ever been on the weekly chart. So that says a lot, okay? So let me clear the screen. let's get back to current times here. All right. And that's worth, that's definitely worth taking notice of. I knew this MACD was high. It's been high for the last few months. And that's just crazy. That is crazy high. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say a few things at this point, what I think might be happening. Yes, I think there's going to be a pullback. It's going to be a pretty big pullback. That's probably going to most likely happen as we go into springtime, summertime. Particularly June 16th to me still stands out. I think we will get a pullback, in somewhere in this time frame, right? But there's also kind of in the back of my mind that the United States is really on the brink of some serious trouble. And I think we're going to see some really serious trouble over the next 10 years. It's this kind of like a runaway market, not runaway market, runaway economy, sorry. I think this economy is kind of running away from us to the point where I don't think it's recoverable. I don't remember what the national debt is. Let's take a look at the national debt real quick. All right, here we are on usdebtclock.org. Some of you know this website, maybe some of you don't. This keeps track of all the debt that's in the United States. Okay, and you can see over here the total U.S. national debt right now is coming up on $34.5 trillion. Let me just make sure I got my math right here. 100,000, 100 million, 100 billion, yeah, 34 trillion. $34 trillion, $34.5 trillion. This is not recoverable. Not recoverable. I don't think it really matters what Congress does. It doesn't matter what joker's sitting in the White House. I think a guy like Biden and his billionaire handlers are just, there's a lot of people to spread the blame around for why the United States is in the state that it's in now, the state of affairs that it's in. And I'm not going to go down that path in this video, but I just do want to say that I think, just instinctively looking at this and having a feel for what I see in the market, the stock market and things like that, I think the next 10 years are going to be a real huge problem for the United States. I don't think the Federal Reserve has a snowball's chance in hell to save it. No matter what they do, I don't think they can save the U.S. As much as it bothers me to say it, I think the United States is officially a banana republic far as economy goes. And I know this is a scrappy looking text there, banana republic. I really honestly believe that, which is very unfortunate. And I mentioned this before, the United States still has great natural resources. We've got oil, there's a lot of there's crops, there's a lot of other natural resources. But there are some billionaires in the WEF and the United Nations and other bad characters and bad actors they're working overtime to destroy this nation. And this right here is just, it's so absurd. I don't think the United States will ever recover. I honestly don't believe that. I think the United States it's economically seen its best days. Now if something extraordinary happens, let's say Donald Trump gets elected and they work on the national debt and they put a bona fide plan in place to reduce the national debt. Okay, we can readdress and have this discussion again, right? But right now, even when Donald Trump, who in my opinion is a far better president than Biden doesn't know which way up or down or left or right is. Tonight's speech is going to be an epic failure for that moron. But even if Donald Trump makes back into office, last time he was in office, he didn't really focus on the national debt. He did a lot of great things, and you can hate him all you want. If you're one of those people that hates Trump, that's fine, do your thing. But he did a lot of great things, but he never addressed the national debt, and I don't think he will again. If and when he gets back into the White House. If he does, then that's at least a little light at the end of the tunnel. If he doesn't, forget about it. This nation is toast. It's toast. This is not recoverable. Debt per taxpayer is $266,000. Anybody got $266,000 laying around they want to give to the U.S. for it to get out of the hole? I don't think so. Right? Look at this spending. This is just spending. Look at this. Out of control. Just going up. Just sitting here watching this spending go nuts. This is tens of thousands of dollars flying by every second. It's just crazy. Absolutely nuts. So I wanted to really just show this because this should be a reality check for everybody. This is the revenue that's coming in, meaning, but mostly through taxes, right? This is money coming into the United States. It's 4.6, I guess that's trillion dollars, maybe $4.7 trillion, okay, coming in. Some of it comes from income revenue tax, and there's other ways that they generate this tax, okay? But that's 4.7 trillion. This is 34 trillion. Like if you just stopped, if the U.S. federal government just completely stopped and didn't do anything and went completely dead, but somehow still generated this revenue, okay, then 8 years from now, you could catch up to this debt, right? But of course, that's not possible, right? You can't have the federal government just completely come into a stop. Though I am an advocate for the U.S. government, the federal government to basically, be shut down almost, or run on what I call like limp mode. I'm being dead serious. I think the only way we could recover this if the federal government just basically was hands off and just barely operating on the absolute basic necessities, like bare minimum. Then maybe this is recoverable. But there's so much corruption going on around the world. I mean, just look what happened down in Fulton County for those that maybe not be following it. Just take a look at Fulton County. What's going on with Fani Willis? You had the same thing up in Baltimore with Mosby, the DA that was up there. You had the DA in St. Louis. They're all falling like dominoes. Those are all Searles paid DAs. Okay, keep your eye on Alvin Bragg up there in New York, as well as La Tata James, because I got a feeling she's going to fall hard. There's some serious questions now about her campaign money and what she spent it on. These people there's just so much corruption, it's crazy. And you can just tell, I mean, this just smells corruption, right? And the Federal Reserve is just as much to blame as anybody else with this nonsense. And the U.S. U.S. Treasury is supposed to be one that handles credits and debits in the United States, not some hokey-pokey made-up Federal Reserve. Anyway, it's worth repeating and just kind of showing this. I'll show this from time to time on some of the videos when I talk about some of the longer time frames, because I honestly do not believe that the United States will ever recover. I think if you look at other nations, like if you look at the world history, you kind of think about Great Britain, how it once was great, and even the Roman Empire. They were great nations. They conquered like massive land. They had their hands in nations all over the world. Now look at Great Britain today. I mean, they're just in survival mode. And I think that's where the United States is headed. And this nation is done. At least economically, it's done. And the world's going to be in some kind of major shift is going to happen worldwide. We're going to have a long period of recovery and low living or something. I'm not sure exactly how this is going to go down, but not sustainable. All right, let's get back to the charts. All right, so we took a look at the national debt, kind of in cooperation with the weekly. We're at blazing all-time highs, not only national debt, but at the MACD. See, those things go hand in hand. That was kind of my point. You see how the MACD is out of control? It's at blistering highs. The stock market's at blistering highs. Those are all signs of something running away. Okay, and yes, there will be declines, but the stock market is a reflection really of the economy, and we are in runaway mode. And that, a lot of people don't understand, that's not actually a good thing. Okay. I think we're going to see epic failure. It's either going to be crazy runaway hyperinflation, right? But I think the stock market at some point is going to have an epic failure over the next 10 years. It's going to be chopped down to like 2,000. That number is not, we're going to be way down here. Something like that's going to happen. All right, let's take a look at the daily chart. We'll look at my trade and look at the daily chart and finish up this video. I know it's kind of long already. Okay, this was just a composite screenshot I took of two different contracts. I traded the March contract for futures and the June contract. So in the March contracts, I made $262.50. Some of this was a carryover from the previous day because I traded before midnight, and my broker, even after 4 p.m. market futures closes, still keeps the contract count going on. But this was only like, I think, 3 contracts for this trade. Okay, and then over here on the June contracts, I had 2 trades. 3 times 2 is 6. I made $937.50. This was, I took a screenshot here. I was trading the June contracts. You can see this is where it started last night, and the market was taking a big, huge dive, and I took advantage of this. I didn't trade today. I was very busy, and we're going to look at the daily chart right now. But this is what my trades were. So whatever, $1,200 here. I'm a happy camper. Keep on chugging along to the next day. All right, here we are on the daily chart. You can see today we hit all-time high at 51.70.5. I'm not going to lie. Today surprised me. I probably shouldn't have been surprised. The data was showing a pullback today, and it did happen in the Asian market. We had that nice pullback. That's where I made my money for the day, as you saw my trades. And then it was blast-off mode when London got a hold of the market, and it just took off. I think I probably really shouldn't be surprised. The reason I say that is because you get these two down days and blast off. 2 down, blast off, 2 down, blast off. 2 or 3 down, blast off. Sure enough, 2 down, blast off. So complete stair step, right? This is just your typical, 100% bull market going to the moon kind of behavior. So I probably shouldn't have been surprised. I looked at my data. It said pullback today. I even had a couple options traders kind of hinting at the same thing we talked about in chat. So can't always get it right. Big up day. Market looking absolutely amazing as far as the bull run continues. There is some weakness here in the SMI, but you wouldn't know it by looking at the MACD. Still just absolutely tacking in the 50s, way above the zero line right here, way above the zero line. Just like, you would think the market was dead if you looked at this. It's just tracking sideways on the MACD, well above zero. Very strong momentum continues to go. There is going to be some new support. I'm not going to do it right now because the video is going to get a little long, but there's going to be a new support right here, and that's going to be at 50.86. Okay, so just keep that in mind. I'll put them in here once I get a chance a little bit later on. Okay. March 20th, cycle low there. April 14th, cycle low there. We'll keep an eye on that. I still think there's going to be some type of cycle low, but for right now, there's not even a hint of this market pulling back. Okay. Let's look at the intraday charts. All right, here we are on the 5-minute chart for the futures. And I traded this last night all the way down into here. Well, not all of it. I think I stopped right in here. But this was just huge profit. I mean, this was monster mash. This just kept on going. And I really thought, based on analysis from the data I had on the previous day over here, I'm like, oh, this is playing out exactly like I thought it was going to. I thought the market was just going to continue down, have a little jump in the London market, and then take a dive during intraday. But boy, the market did not do that at all. I'm just thinking Joe Biden's going to be flapping his chops tonight, speaking incoherent sentences as he always does. And it did cross my mind. And another member of mine commented on the same thing in the Discord channel. You just never really know with the market sometimes. This is such a controlled market nowadays. It's not like it used to be. There's a lot of shenanigans going on in the marketplace. But anyway, that kind of crossed my mind that maybe a little something was going on here to help prop up the senile one behind a microphone tonight. Let's talk about the trades of the day. This one right here, late last night, right at. I mean, this, guys and gals, I've talked about this before. If you're up, the London market starts at 2 a.m. my time here in Texas, so that's like right here, okay, right there. You could even see it took a dive just right after. But look what happened here. We got a signal about an hour and 15 minutes later. There was actually a signal just before at 1:15 right there. But this signal was the bread and butter signal right here. This thing was just absolutely monster mashing it. This one was actually really good too because it was at the very bottom. See this signal here? Happened at 1:15 right at the bottom. Definitely an easy trade to make. This one over here was not nearly as easy, but this trade was easy to make. Eventually, it comes out of the hole and just absolutely takes off. So this was a really good trade. That's why a lot of times, this is like the very, I don't want to say the end of Asian market, but getting to the tail end of the Asian market and pre-market for London. So when you see this kind of activity, just a little bit before, a little bit after London market opens up, you want to pay attention to that. There's a lot of opportunity on some nights here in the US to be trading the London market, and there certainly was last night. Just look at that monster mash. I was actually up at this time right around in here. There was a little dip right here. I made like $100, $200 on a little dip because I really thought the market was going to pull back. It didn't. I cut my position loose, whatever. I wasn't going to jeopardize all my profits from over here, obviously. And then the market, I went back to bed because I was super tired, and the market went into blast off mode. You got to get your sleep sometime, right? But yeah, I missed all this opportunity. I was between sleeping and I was busy doing some other stuff because I'm still doing the day job. This was just going on like crazy today. Look at this. But this was just a signal. Now, I talked about this before, and I think I mentioned it yesterday or the day before. If you don't see any Giddus Plus signals on the 5-minute chart through the whole entire intraday, you know the market's doing only one of two things. It's either extremely bullish or extremely bearish. And you could trade with confidence. In this case, you want to buy the dips. Now, some people can say, there weren't any dips, Sometimes you got to get away from price. You got to get away from price. What do I mean? Here's a dip. Right, the price barely dipped, but the SMI dipped. Buy the dip on the SMI. Hardly any price dip, right? Just track sideways. Buy the dip on the SMI. Okay. This in here is a little hard to buy, but it's very strong. You could buy that. You could buy that if you want to. But this one was easy peasy. Buy the dip. It tracks sideways for a little while and finishes up here at 1:30 in the afternoon or whatever it was. Yeah, 1 o'clock. Super strong. All right. So you had like one. Again, I just want to repeat this. If you're not seeing the Giddus Plus indicator intraday on the 5-minute chart, you know the market's it's strong one way or the other. Just look at the market. It'll tell you what it's doing. Just look at the chart. It's going to the moon in this case, right? So you're going to buy this dip down here. You wait for it to curl up, you buy. Don't buy when it's still going down. Give it a little room. Let it come up, curl up, then buy. Okay, same thing here. Curls up a little bit, you take the buy. Look how strong this momentum is. Everything above the zero line here. Whole day. Crazy. So you had 1, 2, 3 really good buying opportunities throughout the intraday. When you get this kind of nonsense going on, just if you're like, you can't figure out where to buy, right? Because the market just seems like it's always up here. Some traders like that. They're afraid to get in. They're afraid to jump in because the market's so strong. When do I buy? Where's the dip? Just sometimes you got to ignore price and just buy the dip at the SMI. Okay? That's how you do it. All right. Let me look at the 15-minute chart real quick and finish up this video. Yeah, so there was a nice signal here at 4 a.m. Look at this. I was up at 4 a.m. I remember seeing this signal. Okay. Now, this is a really tough signal to trade. You get the Giddus Plus indicator says, hey, a trade's coming in here. Look at this nonsense. I mean, it was at 90 on the SMI. 90. 90. But the telling story here is, guess what? The MACD is going positive. See it? MACD is going positive. Now, I would not buy right here. No way. The message is just not clear. We got very strong momentum, but this up here is no way I'm buying long right here. This is Nutsville. You know where I would buy long? Right here, which is at like 6, call it 7:15. Right there on that candlestick. That one. Okay, let's make this so that everybody understands why would I buy right there? Okay. This signal with this SMI this high is a difficult to go long right here. Really difficult. If anything, I'd be thinking about going short. But the MACD was moving into positive territory, so you got to be careful, right? So now you got to wait because you get a green candlestick. Usually I wait till the next candlestick before I do anything. And it was green, so can't go short. The next one's green. Okay, I'm waiting. Wait for the SMI to dip. That's right. It's like 3 hours later. You got to wait. And then as soon as it made this bounce right here, MACD pinched and starts to go up right here at the same time. Oh my gosh, definitely jump in. That's that candlestick right there. And it's off to the races. Okay, so this is what we call extremely bullish behavior. You have to see how this just tracks sideways for like hours. from like 4, whatever it was, 4:15, 4:30 right here. This is about 4:15, all the way to like 7:15. That was like 3 hours that just basically tracked sideways. Nothing going on here. Like London could not get their act together. They're just like ho hum, you know, back and forth, right? And then you got U.S. pre-market. That's basically what this means right here. That's what that is. That's U.S. pre-market. It came in, buyers came in, boom, off to the races. All right, so that's how I didn't trade like I said today because I had to actually do the day job, and I already made my profits the night before, so I learned my lesson so many times, man. I'm like, no, I'm not jeopardizing $1,200. So anyway, this is how you would trade this. Wait for this dip way up here. This is so strong, it's crazy. It only dips, barely gets below the top line and goes up. Yeah, get in and buy, go crazy. This was a fairly easy 30 points. Is it right? Yeah, I'm sorry, 20. A little more than that. Like 25 points. From about 60, oh, more than that, sorry. 60 to maybe 25. That's like 35 points right here. Pretty easily. Close to it, maybe 30. That is just huge. I mean, that is absolutely mammoth profits. Okay, I'm going to switch over to NKD, which is the Nike 225. Then we'll finish up the video. If you want to become a member, stick around to the end of the video. Okay. Okay, this is the Nike or Nikkei or however you pronounce this thing, 225. I'm looking at the 15-minute chart, sorry, here. And last night, this was just, oh my gosh. For my account, this was $20,000 of profit. Because remember, futures, you can go long or short, it's all the same, it doesn't matter. There's no such thing as calls and puts. This is futures. We just shorted or long, it doesn't make any difference. It makes absolutely no difference. It's the same amount of margin against your account. Okay. You're not using cash to buy options or anything like that. It's just straight up buying or selling futures. But in any case, shorting the futures here, $20,000 run. There's another member that we chat a little bit. Him and I chat a little bit on the Nike server, which is going to be going live here hopefully in like the next 2 weeks. I talked about this. I'm like, man, I should have shorted this. I knew this was going to happen. And look at this, guys. Look how this Nike product, this Japanese market, traded different than the S&P 500. This thing took an epic collapse yesterday. Because remember, Japan's basically part of the Asian market, right? Epic collapse. And it rebounded, but it didn't do anything like the S&P 500. S&P 500 came down too, but they went way up here, right? The S&P 500 went to all-time new highs. You can see the Nike 225 did not. Like it recovered maybe whatever, if I just kind of put a vertical line here, it recovered like what, half of it. That's all it did. Recovered like exactly half of this decline. That's why this product, oh my gosh, this product is such a huge moneymaker. And I'm, like I said, I'm still wrapping my mind around this product because it doesn't always track the S&P 500. So I'm having to learn this product, and I'm going to take my time because you can lose a lot of money or make a lot of money in this product. But this was a $20,000. This was $20K last night that I didn't tap into. I made $1,200 on the S&P 500, but I probably could have realistically made anywhere from like $8,000 to $12,000 and got out down into this area right here. Yeah, just absolutely crazy. So I wanted to share this because this is probably going to go live here sometime in the month of April. Well, I'll start streaming this. All right. Okay, if you want to become a member, there is a link just below this YouTube video. It's a discord.com link. Make sure you read those instructions very carefully before you join. Once you've done that, click on the discord.com link. It's going to bring you to the server. Click on server shop. Guys and gals, $7.99 a month. I've been talking about lately, invest in yourself. Spend 3 months, $25. Okay? Spend 3 months, invest in yourself. Right? I mean, we're talking small money here. Okay? And when you join, which a member the other day asked me about this, which was really, really good that they did that. But when you join, ask me about the new members video. That video basically goes through and shows the Get Us Plus indicator and how I use the indicators to do my trades and some other things that I do to help trade, okay? It doesn't explain every last little thing I do to trade, but it should at least get you started and point you in the right direction, okay? So make sure you just ask. You just put it in the member chat or the SP500 channel. Say, hey, Get Us, can you give me the new members video? And I'll make sure you get the link, okay? When you join, the streaming charts are down here. Just click on this stream, S&P 500 stream. You'll get all 3 streaming charts. You get the 5-minute, the 15-minute, and the 1-hour S&P 500 streams. Those are the futures. They stream 5 days a week, 24 hours a day, okay? And if you're not watching the stream, it still sends alerts to this channel right here. So super nice, okay? So just right-click on this channel, turn notifications on, and you'll get these notifications for this stream whenever an alert comes up. Because the 5-minute chart, the 15-minute chart, and the 1-hour chart will all send alerts to this channel if the Get Us Plus indicator gets a trigger and thinks that there's a trade, okay? There's also alerts that go for these products. Now, these products don't have streams because that's too much to stream, but they do still have alerts. So if you want to get alerts for gold, crude oil, top 30 stocks, the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ, and some daily alerts, and you can turn these alerts on if you want to. I don't. I do trade these products sometimes, but I don't turn their alerts on because that's way too many alerts coming in. So you can just pick and choose which alerts you want by right-clicking on the channel and turn them which ones you want on, which ones you don't, okay? All right, there's some nice symbols in here. Every day, Monday through Thursday, I put symbols in here at the end of the day so you can check them out. I think I saw Aussie dollar futures in there. A silver was in there today, if I remember right. And some other things were in here. So, and there's some optionable symbols in there, right, as well, stocks with options, and some industry symbols and some other stuff. You can check them out. Some pretty good symbols in there from time to time, okay? This Get Us Only Post channel, this is where you can go to get the link for the video I'm doing right now. And also, I post in there to all the members when the emails go out every night. I just notify everybody. This is a read-only channel for everybody else. For all, you can go in there, but you can't put anything there, but you can go in there. You can even watch the videos in that channel if you want to. You just can't type anything in there. This is just my channel only. Only I can edit this channel, okay? Or post things in this channel. Currency, KZI trade futures for currency. If I do, you'll see it in there. Okay, speaking of the nightly email, if you want to get the nightly email, put your email in this emails only channel. You'll get the daily chart of the S&P 500. It'll have the cycles on there. It'll have the support lines on there. Since we're at all-time highs, there's really only support lines on there right now. Okay, so you get that every night. And I usually put a couple sentences of my opinion about what I think the market's going to do, okay? Yes, I track solar activity for various reasons. And its impact on the earth as well as markets. You'd be surprised, it does impact the market. Fixed income, if I trade corporate bonds, I'll put them in there. Okay, and then there's just these 2 channels up here, just regular chat for the members, okay? So this is everything you get for the $7.99 a month. You're getting the streaming charts, you're getting the alerts, you're getting the premium symbols, you're getting the nightly emails. It's a lot for $8 a month, guys. That's a huge, huge value, okay? Let's talk about the rules. Got to read the rules. And there's the refund rules. Okay, I don't want anybody complaining about if you want to leave, make sure you understand the refund rules. Basically, you don't get refunded for the month. And for $8, I'm not going to refund people. If you don't want to come in the next month, just stop the subscription. It's not a big deal. Okay, but so that's basically the refund rules. But make sure you read the refund rules anyway in there. There's also, please be nice to everybody else rules. I don't tolerate nasty posts, dirty language, any of that stuff. Rudeness, not tolerated on the server. I'm going to warn you once. If you keep doing it, you're going to get kicked. If you keep doing it after that, you're going to get banned. Okay. Also, and there's a disclaimer that I do not give financial advice. Everything on this server, whether it's me posting or anybody else posting, is strictly educational purposes only. And so is this video. Strictly educational purposes only. There is no financial advice implied whatsoever. Okay. You're responsible for your own trading. All right, guys and gals, I think that pretty much covers it. Happy trading, everybody. Talk to you all real soon again next time.